this pass rush has looked absolutely horrible.
Terrible.
I mean, you take into account that we're playing against what is Terrence Steele? He's a tackle or a guard?
Yeah, right.
He's a tackle, right tackle. You're going to, and this is kind of a conversation about Brian Burns at the end of the day. Now, we got to be honest, and we got to have truthful conversations. You're going against one of the worst right tackles in the NFL, and when you can't get any pass rush at all, and you want to be paid X amount of dollars, it forces a cause for pause. It really does. It really does. It forces a cause for pause. It does. I'm one of the proponents, like I said. I mean, we've had multiple conversations with whoever we had conversations with, and we've said multiple times on this podcast that he needs his money. But I will tell y'all, just 100% transparent, this season has hurt Brian Burns' pockets. This season has hurt Brian Burns' pockets. And it's almost, and I might get slandered for this, but I don't even give a fuck. The Carolina Panthers dick this situation so bad that it almost can play to their benefit to a certain degree, because you almost don't even know if you want to give this guy X amount of dollars at all. Because you didn't sign him in the offseason, because you didn't trade him last year or this year, he already know you tipped your hand, because you already let this guy know you're worth more than 2 first-round picks to us. You're worth more than anybody else in the NFL was offering us. So Brian Burns has all the power. So if Brian Burns comes in there and tells the Carolina Panthers that he wants $28, $29, $30 million, the Carolina Panthers as an organization can't even come back with a counter for real. And I hate to tell y'all, but I'm not one of the believers at this point, based on what I've seen this season, that Brian Burns should get $28, $29, and $30 million. So you've dicked it so bad that you've almost worked yourself into a situation where, if you really, 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 really want to rebuild, that would be damn near the first building block. You almost have to let Brian Burns walk if this is what we're going to get.
But you can't get anything for him at this point, right?
No, you can't. You can't get anything for him. So, I mean, you're going to either waste your franchise tag on him, or you're going to look elsewhere to put the tag, or you're going to give him a dumbass bag, which in turn is going to hurt the fact that you need weapons for Bryce Young.
That's really.
I mean, so it's. And we're to a point now. Again, just kind of furthering the conversation. We're to the point now where me personally, I want to burn the whole shit down. There's legitimately, and the conversation that I referenced earlier, I told you I kind of had a fun topic for us. But there's legitimately maybe 3 players on this roster right now that I would consider keeping.
Yeah, I mean, you have no direction to go in. Like, you literally have you have a rookie quarterback. Obviously, you can build off of him, but what other direction do you have to go in? I mean, we have guys who can't stay healthy, who are not on the field. We have guys who just put up subpar play. Like, they're just guys who can't play. Like, I hate to say it, and obviously y'all guys are playing at the highest level it is to this shit. You're in the NFL. Hats off to you. But comparing you to other NFL players, you're not good. Like, that's not a bad thing to say. Like, it's bad on your part, but it's not a bad thing for me to say. If you compare me to other people in my job, then you can make that evaluation however you want. But I'm comparing you to niggas at your job. You're not fucking good. And this franchise has to realize that. We have a lot of guys on the team who are not good. We get these guys because we want them to look good. We want them to be good, but that's just not the case. You're not good. So there's not really a lot of directions that you can go in other than starting this whole shit over.
So if the Carolina Panthers were in a situation where this offseason, let's just say for the sake of the conversation, we finish 2-15. And it's one of those things where we're going to burn everything down. Give me 3 players off the top of your head right now, based on current contract situations, based on everything. Take everything into account. Give me 3 players that going forward into 2024 must remain a Carolina Panther.
You got to exclude Bryce, right? Because there's no choice.
I was about to say, you have to exclude Bryce. Bryce can't. I mean, that's a given.
Yeah.
That's a given. That's our franchise quarterback, so you got to exclude him.
I mean, I would have to say Derrick Brown, Frankie Louvu, and Adam Thielen. I don't even want to keep Adam Thielen because he's old as fuck. But, I mean, honestly, Adam Thielen, I think Shameik made a good point. He's worked his way into a fucking Pro Bowl situation.
Yeah.
Into an all-pro situation. Like, he's shown that with this shit play that's around him. So, I think that if you can't go get, like, 2 top-notch receivers in free agency or in the draft, then you have to keep Adam Thielen. But other than that, that's it.
Yeah. Also, Shameik, you were wrong with your comment about Adam Thielen on Dayron Bland. Majority of the game, Adam Thielen was lined up in the slot, especially when he was doing his damage, and that was against Jordan Lewis. Just wanted to go ahead and correct that because I wasn't on live to correct that the other day. But yeah, if I'm rebuilding the Panthers this offseason and I want to keep 3 players, I'm definitely keeping Frankie, Derek Brown as well.
Yeah, that third player is so hard.
That's the thing. And ultimately, go ahead and finish. Go ahead and give me your third.
My third, me personally, I'm going to say J.C. Horn because I feel like you haven't seen enough from him. And I feel like, I do feel like when he's on the field, he's a phenomenal talent and a phenomenal cornerback. And if I'm just thinking going forward, who's going to have the best chance to be something on this roster, it has to be J.C. Horn because you haven't seen him.
Yeah, that's what was going through my head. But at the same time, by him not being on the field all the years that we've had him, then he's almost
hesitant.
Yeah, he's almost more bad than it is fucking good. So
right. And so my point in asking that question to you guys was, this team is so bad that you have no choice but to tear everything down. Because I was thinking about this shit to myself, and I'm like, if I had to rebuild this shit, who would I want to keep? And, of course, JJ being the fucking biased dickhead that he is, I'm thinking Raheem, I'm thinking Dunk, I'm thinking fucking Frankie. So those are just the names that come to me off rip. And so then I look at it, and I'm like, okay, cool. Well, if I'm talking about winning football games, who's going to make the most impact? So I said Frankie, and I said DB, and it stopped. And it stopped.
You got to reach for everybody else.
Exactly, and that's the problem. That is a significant problem that the Carolina Panthers have, and that's why I said a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and I hate bringing this shit up because it sounds like I'm having a I told you so moment, but it's not that. But that's why I said 2 years ago, if we didn't get rid of Matt Rule, we're looking at a decade to a decade and a half. Because I've been hearing a lot of people saying 2 and 3 years, shit would start to look better or shit would be, contending. But when I look at the way this roster is currently, when I look at the fact that the destination is where it is, it's not a 2 or 3 year process. I hate to tell you. Yeah. And the Carolina Panthers have nobody to blame but themselves, specifically David Tepper. And let me go all the way back. Because this is a conversation that I had on Twitter Spaces. Why the fuck does it mean a bitch-ass motherfucking thing to me that Nicole Tepper is out on the practice field watching offensive line drills?
That shit is so dumb to me, bro. So fucking dumb to me. Like, honestly, like, what the fuck is she gonna do out there? What is she gonna be able to look and be like, oh, that was nice.
Not she.
That was good. Oh, we need him. Oh, we need to pay him.
And the problem is,
shit
Terrence.
Is dumb.
Exactly, bro. And the problem is, at the top, you have 2 motherfuckers, and let me not even say it like that. Excuse me. You have 2 people whose football lineage is not that exquisite. It's not that extensive. It's damn near undocumented when I look at Nicole Tepper. But you have 2 people running this organization all the way at the top that don't know football.
But they want to prove that they do.
But they want to prove it because it's a fucking dick. It's a pissing contest. Because I won't even say a dick swinging contest. No pun intended. Because you know what I'm saying. I won't even say that. So it's just a pissing contest.
And it's unfortunate because those are 2 people that no matter what you do, you can't move them from the organization. They own the bitch.
Precisely.
They own it.
And unfortunately, to kind of put any idea out of Carolina Panthers heads. Carolina Panthers fans' heads, Dave Tepper ain't selling the team.
Yeah, it's not.
He makes too much money. Yeah. You go to the concession stand, you look at the tickets, like no matter, I was about to say, no matter how people feel about how the shit be looking on TV, them tickets be sold. So, I mean, what reason would I have to sell the team because they're losing?
Great
No.
business, man.
Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day. So I'm selling the team for what? Because they're losing? Because these bum-ass fans want me to? No. So you know, if this thing continues the way it is and there's no president of football operations brought in, or, you know, we're not bringing people around, if we're Dave Tepper, to form kind of a council to advise on what we should do on the football field and things of that nature, football operations, this organization is fucked. And transparently, we're really on pace. Like, I want y'all to know, and I really want y'all to take this in and realize how bullshit the situation that we're in right now is. We're in a situation where we're tracking to be the worst team in NFL history. Because I believe the stat is there's been no team that lost more than 14 games, if I'm not mistaken, since the 17-game format has rolled out.
Didn't the Browns go winless a couple years ago?
0-16?
Yeah.
Yeah, nigga, but is 0-16 worse than 1-16, or excuse me, 1-17, 1-16, whatever the fuck it may be?
1-16, yeah.
Yeah, they're the same thing.
The same thing, yeah.
I don't know. Because the bitch-ass nigga still lost fucking 16 games.
I was about to say y'all would lose 16, so it would just put you on that same trajectory.
Yeah, bullshit.
But yeah, I mean that's what. The Panthers organization is very dangerous waters right now. They are treading Cleveland Browns land, and that's old Cleveland Browns, not new Cleveland Browns.
Very fucking nasty ass work.
And what do you do? Because where do you go, bro? And I think that's what when I lay my head down at night and I think about this organization and this team, I think that's what drives me to the point of insanity almost, is the fact that, like, you have nowhere to go. Like, it's like if you're in a fucking room and the walls are closing in on you, and it's just like, what the fuck, like, and you just start fucking grabbing that shit and, like, goddamn, like, what do you do?
Because realistically, you can't do anything in the situation we're in. You can't go out in free agency. Nobody wants to fucking play in Charlotte. Nobody wants to come to this bullshit franchise. I hate to tell you, if you didn't know, newsflash, nobody wants to be in Charlotte. It's hard for me to even go to Charlotte on fucking Sunday. Yeah. No player wants to come and play in Charlotte. So you have to go and get everything out of the fucking draft. But you don't have any fucking draft pieces. You don't have any draft capital.
And you don't draft well, and you didn't trade the one thing that you could have potentially traded for fucking draft capital at the deadline.
So you're fucking dick. I mean, there's literally nowhere to go. You're fucked.
I want to say this as well. If Frank Reich, God forbid, I don't know how this shit is even going to happen, right?
Here we go.
But I believe that the reason why Frank Reich wasn't fired on Monday morning is because I think that Dave Tepper is going to fire both when he decides to finally pull the trigger. But if you don't, I mean, you might be the dumbest motherfucker in the NFL.
Will you get your PSLs next year?
Absolutely. It's a problem that I have. I got to deal with that internally.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad as fuck.
Yeah, I got to deal with that internally.
Will you make another 10-win bet next year?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. I was looking at my shit the other day, just counting the fucking hundreds. Just counting the $100 bills going out my shit.
I about want to bet against my team.
Shit is
be the smartest thing to do.
That's where it's gotten.
Oh, actually, I did.
It's sad.